Hello again. In the next video we're going to talk about the wind farm itself. Now behind me is a wind turbine. That is what actually sits inside the nacelle on the top of a pylon. Now we have a rotating head to a gearbox with a braking system on it, through a shaft to a generator. Now offshore we don't just have the wind farms and the wind turbines. We have offshore substations. So we've got 200 of these connected together. The power goes to a substation where it's stepped up. It's stepped up to transmit it back to shore. It is transmitted to stations ashore where the substations there again convert it, step it up or step it down to whatever is needed. Not only are they substations ashore, there is a massive network of transmission cabling. It takes it to places where it's needed. It doesn't come straight from there to your home. It is transmitted all over the country, and they tend to use a lot of the power of wind farms to offset higher usage in other places. They are not massive producers of electricity, but when you string many together, they then produce enough to make it worth doing. It is quite a new technology. They've had to produce new forms of transmission networks for the power that comes from a wind turbine. Again, to put it into context, the Hornsea 1 and 2 offshore Ørsted projects, they produce a great deal of electrical energy. Now, it's free nearly. Once you've got everything in place, you're talking maintenance. I do believe wind turbines have got a life of 20 years. Now, if these are maintained properly, I'm sure that will be extended. So to actually see one of these being put in place is quite phenomenal. They can nearly do it in a day. They sink the foundations into the bed of the sea. They then send a ship out. It jacks itself up on stilts. It drops the pylon onto the foundations. Nacelle, blades afterwards, and it's done. I've actually sat on the ship and watched it done, and it is absolutely amazing to see. Again, we are producing new forms of technology to be able to do this. So not only is the technology used for gathering electricity from the wind, it is also used for other things, many other things. There are smart materials used in the production of wind turbines. The blades that are actually being used, they are using new technologies and new materials for those, so they can actually be recycled. They had a bit of trouble with them for a start. They couldn't recycle old blades. That has been looked at, it's been approached. Ørsted again, one of the leaders in the field. I'm not blowing Ørsted's trumpet, but they are good at what they do. If they weren't, they wouldn't be doing it, because at the end of the day, everybody's got to earn a profit. Now, once that electricity hits the shore, it goes to a further secondary substation where the voltage is dropped. I mean, voltage is moved around the country, 22 kV, 44 kV. We're talking high voltages. Once that has arrived on your doorstep, it will then go to a secondary substation where it's stepped down. And then it will go to a smaller substation where it is dropped down even further to 240 volts single phase, which you use in your home. So every time you plug your kettle in and switch it on, you're connecting yourself, probably about 80% of the time, to a wind farm. Not only is clean energy being produced by wind farms, Drax all the way has changed to biomass now, which I'm sure we will come to in another video to talk about biomass. But it is starting to offset our conventional energy production systems of burning coal, oil and gas. We are now going towards wind farms and actually converting power stations to burn, as we would call it now, renewable low carbon footprint fuels. As again, we will come back to that in a later video.